So a few weeks ago, I asked you guys if you guys wanted me to make death battles, and the majority of you said yeah, and I'm probably wondering what the actual hell is this guy cooking up in here. Daigo from Fortnite versus Sunset Shimmer from My Little Pony Equestria Girls. What is this guy on? I'm gonna split this video into 4 sections. Firstly, I'm going to explain who these characters are so that those of you that are unfamiliar with these characters can know or have an idea. Then I'm going to go over what powers they have and what feats have they demonstrated. Then I will explain why these two characters will be a perfect matchup, and then finally I will predict how the death battle will go. I've yapped enough, let's get to it. Before I begin explaining these characters, if you know who they are, skip to the time frame on screen to part 2. Daigo is the oldest sibling of the spirit siblings. He's known for being overambitious and kinda arrogant, but despite that, he genuinely cares about his siblings, Kendo and Jade. Before magic returned to Oninoshima, Daigo used to run a shop called the Thousand Faces, which he inherited from his grandfather. But after the 0-point shard crashed onto Oninoshima, it reawakened the magic across the island. Spirit realm portals started opening everywhere, and demons began overrunning the island. While Kendo and Jade fought them off using weapons, Daigo chose a different route. Instead of fighting against the magic, he started studying and using it himself. Kendo warned him multiple times not to mess with him, but Daigo kept ignoring him and going deeper into it. Eventually, Jade got cursed by the demons, and Daigo created a mask to protect her, but instead of saving her, it ended up trapping her inside the spirit realm. Feeling guilty for what happened, Daigo became determined to save her no matter what. After studying magic even more, he discovered a dormant spiritual portal hidden on a mountain. Using kintsugi, which is the ancient Japanese technique of repairing broken things with gold, he restored the portal and activated it. Doing all this, he kept hearing some mysterious dark presence calling out to him. When the portal finally opened, Daigo tried pulling Jade out of the spirit realm, but instead Shogun X came through and attacked him. The two combatants fought an epic duel, and Daigo eventually won. He managed to free Jade and the Dairos, but the kintsugi used to restore the portal exploded afterwards, scattering gold everywhere across the area. In the next season, a wolf named Fletcher K took most of the gold and started taxing the citizens with it. Daigo later made a deal with K. K would give him more gold, and in return, Daigo would make him more masks. Daigo needed all the gold because he was trying to restore a sinister mask of power, which required a massive amount of kintsugi to repair. After restoring the mask, Daigo and Kane found another spirit realm portal hidden inside magic mouses, and they opened it, but once it opened, Daigo betrayed Kane and entered the spirit realm alone. Inside, he encountered the dark presence and was soon corrupted by him. Mask Maker Daigo, or Evil Daigo as I'm gonna call him in this video, later opened a portal back to Oninoshima and started summoning giant spires in order to create a huge portal at Demon's Domain. Eventually, the portal became large enough for one of the Dark Presence's tentacles to come through, but after Evil Daigo fulfilled this promise, the Dark Presence tossed him aside because it no longer needed him. After the tentacle was defeated by the Supernovas and Superman, Daigo was freed and realized just how far he had gone and decided it was finally time to humble himself a bit. He later helped during the bug invasion and also showed up alongside Jade during the 0-hour event. As of now, Daigo has joined the elites and he seems to be their newest member. Now, before I talk about Sunset Shimmer, I should let y'all know that I'm going to include all the installments in which I think are important because most of the Equestria Girls installments are just nothing burgers. Sunset Shimmer came from Equestria. She was a former student of Princess Celestia. However, unlike Twilight Sparkle, who kept most of her achievements under the rug for most ponies, Sunset was quite boastful about hers. Despite Celestia teaching her about humility, she still continued on. One day, Celestia showed her a crystal mirror, and in it, Sunset saw herself as a powerful alicorn. However, when something else in the mirror catches her attention, Celestia guides her away from it and told her that she could study the mirror when she's ready. As the days go by, all she could think about was that mirror. One day, she began her research on the mirror in the dark library behind Celestia's back. When she is caught, instead of apologizing, Sunset demands that she become an alicorn, to which Celestia banishes her from the Canterlot Castle. When the guards escort her outside the castle, she overpowers them and goes inside the mirror. It turns out that mirror was a portal to the human dimension. She quickly adapts to the human dimension and becomes a student at Canterlot High School. She turns the human maid 5 against each other. For those that don't know who they are, they consist of Applejack, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie, and becomes a bully there. One day she found out about a new alicorn princess, that being Twilight Sparkle, and goes to the pony world to steal her crown. That heist fails and Twilight and her friends chase her down. When Sunset loses the crown into the portal, she goes after it. Twilight follows her and is terrified that she's a human. After adjusting to this new world and reuniting the main five, she tells them that she's from another world and plans to stop Sunset Shimmer. After winning the crown, Sunset threatens to destroy the portal if Twilight doesn't hand her the crown. After a skirmish, Sunset finally gets her hands on the crown and wears it. She then undergoes a transformation and turns into a demon and hypnotizes the entire school. She shoots a fireball at Twilight, but the magic of friendship saves her. The main six pony up before taking down Sunset Shimmer. She cries, stating that she doesn't know anything about friendship, to which Twilight and the others promise that they'll teach her. In Rainbow Rock, she was mostly on the side, doing nothing but observing. After the Sirens make the main five fight, she snaps them out of it. When the main six lose to the Sirens, Sunset Shimmer joins in and helps them defeat the Sirens. In the My Past Is Not Today music video, Sunset finally moves on from the fact that she's no longer evil, and she transforms into this weird phoenix-looking thing. I don't know, but yeah. In the friendship game, she is tasked with keeping magic outside the games. When human Twilight, or Sideway for short, magic device starts to gather magic from the main characters, she unleashes that magic under the pressure of Principal Singe. This magic overtakes Sideway and corrupts her, turning her into Midnight Sparkle. Sunset uses that same device to turn herself into Daydream Shimmer and defeats Midnight Sparkle. In the next installment, when the girls go on a school camping trip, Sunset is paired up with Sideway. She reassures her that Midnight Sparkle is gone despite her nightmares of her. Soon, Sunset's magic begins to change. She now gains the ability to see other people's memories and their thoughts and their emotions all through physical touch. When Gloriosa, the camp's co-director, gets overtaken by equestrian magic, she and the others help Twilight get over her fear of Midnight Sparkle taking over, and they all defeat Gloriosa. After that skirmish, they all take part in helping Camp Everfree from shutting down. In Mirror Magic, she goes to Equestria to see Princess Twilight, but is greeted by Starlight Glimmer instead. She takes her around and shows her the human world. When Sunset and the others are trapped in the mirror by Juniper, Starlight tries to convince her to let them go. She eventually does. In Forgotten Friendship, when everyone forgets about Sunset being good, she goes to Princess Twilight for help, who then takes her to Celestia. Now keep in mind that the last time they met, Sunset was very rash. Celestia forgives her and takes her to the library. They find that something called a memory stone is responsible for what's happening. Sunset and Trixie team up and find that the person behind all of this is Wallflower Blush, who was jealous of her popularity. When Sunset sacrifices her memories to save her friends, they all destroy the memory stone and undo its effects. In Spring Breakdown, Sunset and her friends go for a cruise vacation. However, when Rainbow Dash spots a weird symbol, she can't help but go close to it. Soon the girls notice that RD is missing, so Sideway and Sunset go on a rainbow to try to find her. When they find her, she is stuck in quicksand, so they try to save her, only to find out that it's a portal to Equestria, and they all go in it. It turns out that the Storm King's magic got leaked into the human world. With Princess Twilight's help, Sunset and her friends borrowed the Staff of Secandness to stop a magical lightning storm created by the Storm King's power. After the cruise ship sinks, they all use their abilities to rescue the passengers and guide them safely to the island, while Sunset opens a portal to bring everyone back home. Sunset is the central character in the special Sunset's Backstage Pass, where she and Pinkie Pie look forward to seeing their favorite band, Post Crush, perform at the Stars World Music Festival. After Pinkie Pie's mischievous acts, which prevents Sunset from watching the concert, Sunset Shimmer becomes trapped in a magical time loop caused by equestrian magic, forcing her to relive the same festival first day over and over again. With guidance from Princess Twilight, she discovers that the loop is being caused by a time turtle, a magical artifact that was used by none other than their favorite band, Post Crush members Kiwi Lollipop and Supernova Zap. And they're using this to keep replaying the same day, just so that their performance is peak perfect. In the end, Sunset and Pinkie Pie destroy the time turtle and finally break the cycle. Even though Daigo is just an ordinary guy, he has clearly shown some promising feats. Despite being new to magic, he quickly studied it and made some functional masks. He made a mask for his sister after she got cursed, and despite her getting trapped in the spirit realm because of the mask, it also protected her. Daigo managed to repair a broken spirit realm portal with Kintsugi and was able to activate it. He performed a ritual and managed to almost pull Jade out. He was able to get him and Shogun X on even sizes and in some sort of barrier, so that way the island wasn't damaged by their scuffle. In this fight, he summoned a bunch of blue explosive fire Oni masks. Despite fighting a 1,000-year-old general, he managed to stand victorious against him. In the next season, he restored an ancient but sinister mask of power. Now, this mask was broken for thousands of years, and the fact that a simple shopkeeper was able to repair it with kintsugi is insane. Daigo then used that mask's dark magic and was able to open another dormant spirit realm portal in magic mouses and breached into the spirit realm safely, that is, until he got corrupted. Demon Daigo gained the ability to fly and to control spires and used them to absorb energy to empower himself, and this is seen if you have fought him all the way back in Super. Despite being corrupted by the Dark Presence, he has shown some resistance to the corruption similar to that of the Night Rose. Demon Daigo also summoned gigantic spires and brought them to Demon's domain to build a portal large enough for a tentacle of the Dark Presence to breach through. After Daigo was freed from his corruption, he decided to humble himself and beat the bugs on the island. He also helped defeat the Dark Presence. Following the defeat of the Dark Presence, Daigo left Oninoshima to find where he truly belongs, and that's when Zadie recruited him into the elites. Now keep in mind that the elites only recruit those that are worthy to join their ranks, and the fact that they recruited Daigo meant that he was worthy. Overall, Daigo is shown to be an extremely intelligent character and also pretty sharp. Despite being new to the magic, he has shown that he knows how to use it. He opened not one, but two dormant spiritual portals, and one of those portals was restored with the use of Kintsugi. Daigo freed two people from the spirit realm, one of which was his sister, and defeated a general with thousands of years of experience. He managed to breach safely into the spirit realm, and even when he was corrupted, he still showed some resistance. After he was freed, he humbled himself and has now joined the elites who only recruit skilled people. Now let's talk about Sunset Shimmer because there's a lot to unpack about her. Now for simplicity's sake, I'll only cover the first 4 movies. That's because even though she is seen using her powers and has some fantastic feats in the other Equestria girl shorts, if I were to include those, then this video would be unnecessarily long. Sunset Shimmer manages to get to Celestia School, which makes her an incredibly gifted magic user. When she went to the human world, she managed to split the humane 5 up. When she found out about Twilight Sparkle being an Alicorn princess, she successfully sneaks into Equestria and steals the crown. She almost escapes with it, but it ends up in the human world, and when Twilight reunited the main 5, Sunset has framed her for destroying the dance decorations and has taken embarrassing videos and pictures of her trying to blend in with the human world. On the night of the fall foremost, she successfully steals the crown and uses it, but because her intentions and emotions were negative, the pure magic that came from the crown mixed in with her negative emotions, which got her corrupted by dark magic, turning her into Demon Sunset Shimmer. She turned her 2 henchmen into demons. By the way, I'm calling them henchmen because I forgot their name. And mind controls the entire school in an attempt to invade Equestria. After she was defeated, the main 6 promised that they would help her learn about friendship. From there, her story of arrogance and corruption turns into humility and friendship. Even though she had a supportive role for most of Rainbow Rocks, she still had some feats. When the Rain Booms lash out at each other in the final round, Sunset realizes that this is the Dazzlings' doing and snaps them out of it. When the Dazzlings overpower the Rain Booms, Sunset joins in and helps defeat the Dazzlings. She then joins the band as a guitarist and a singer. She now represents the element empathy. In the friendship games, she uses the device that Saitwa used and turns into Daydream Shimmer. From there, she closes up Equestria rifts that Midnight Sparkle opened and manages to defeat her. She tells Saitwa that she can show her a better way to friendship and knows what it's like to be in her shoes. In The Legend of Everfree, Sunset Shimmer gains new abilities. She can now sense other people's thoughts, emotions, and memories through physical touch. Basically, all she has to do is lay a hand on someone, even a finger, and she can see their memories, feel what they feel, and see what they think. She helps Twilight overcome her alter ego Midnight Sparkle, and with the help of the main 6, they defeat Gloriosa Daisy and save Camp Everfree. Now we've reached what is my second favorite part of this video. Why would these two be a perfect matchup? They mirror each other in more ways than one. Both of them are redeemed characters that were corrupted at some point by dark magic. Both of them were ambitious and pursued power in a similar manner. While Daigo initially did it to protect his family, his arrogance and ambition soon got the better of him. Both of them also turned into demons while they were evil. They both use magic, however, while Sunset Shimmer uses magic like unicorn magic, telepathy, and the ability to transform and use those abilities, Daigo's magic mostly comes from the masks that he both created and repaired. My favorite reason as to why these two would work perfectly for a death battle, and this is because despite both of these characters being similar in many ways, they're also opposites to one another. Sunset Shimmer has a lighter personality and has a brighter color scheme, in contrast to Daigo, who's not really that light of a character and has a much darker color scheme. These two literally contrast each other so nicely, it's literally yin and yang, light and dark. Since their personalities contrast each other, there's a lot of good dialogue potential. Now, the moment y'all have been waiting for. Now, even though these guys are human in their base form, I can see this fight wrapping up quickly. The outcome would be quite unexpected. Here's how the battle would go. Daigo is in reality 337, building a mask that could help him rift across realities. When he tested this mask, it opened a rift which proved that it worked, but not long after, the rift started glitching and spazzing out. On the other side, Sunset Shimmer was dealing with a very devastating magic problem with the help of her friends until a rift appears behind Sunset, which sucks her in. Back in reality 337, before the rift closes, Sunset Shimmer gets rifted into this reality and crashes onto Daigo. She is then suddenly bombarded with Daigo's memories. Terrified of what she saw, she gets off and stands back. Where am I? As she questions Daigo, looking confused. Daigo, on the other hand, being extra cautious, tells her that she is in another reality. Sunset freaks out and demands Daigo to rift her back because back home there is a magic problem that needs to be solved. Seeing her aggression, Daigo puts on a magical mask of power and begins using magic to empower himself. Sunset, seeing this, also begins to use her magic. They exchange blasts. Daigo realizes that they are on even levels, so he levels the playing field by putting on this sinister mask of power. With this sinister mask of power, he quickly overpowers her. He shoots fire-only masks and void teleports behind her and blasts her with magic. He does this a few more times. Seeing that she has to transform, Sunset Shimmer transforms into Daydream Shimmer and evens the playing field. She grabs Daigo, flies him up, and basically blasts him with a Kamehameha to the island. As Daigo crashed, a big shockwave pulses across the island. As Daigo lays there on the ground, Sunset descends from the sky and talks to Daigo. I need to go back home, but before Sunset could finish, Daigo blasts her. I am the protector of this reality and I will protect it no matter the cost, Daigo says, as he then proceeds to void teleport behind Sunset Shimmer, and with all of the magic in the sinister mask, he blasts her with such a powerful blast that it depowers her. However, that blast was so powerful it caused Daigo to overexert himself. He falls to the ground panting. Dear God, he says to himself as he tries to get back up, only for him to fall back down from how exhausted he is. Sunset Shimmer crawls to him. I am a protector of my reality too. I'm just trying to get home because of a world-ending threat, Sunset says to Daigo. Daigo, hearing this, felt bad for not hearing her out. I'm sorry for not helping you, he says to Sunset. Sunset partially blames herself because of how she initially acted when she was first rifted here. They both share stories and realize that they are more alike than they think. Daigo finally musters up enough energy to get up. He helps Sunset up and takes her to the medical bay. After both of them were healed, Daigo and Sunset both went to the armory, and Daigo calibrated the rift device to the reality which Sunset Shimmer came from. They say their goodbyes before Sunset jumps into the rift, going back to her home world. Now, I really love this outcome of the death battle, mostly because these two are so similar. Daigo, being the reasonable one, may seem kind of out of pocket at first, but this makes sense because Sunset was acting aggressive. However, what Daigo doesn't know at the time is that Sunset was dealing with a magic problem, as she always does. Sunset crashing onto Daigo and being bombarded with his memories is something that I wanted to add because she is not only seeing memories, but feels the emotions too behind those memories. Sunset seeing Daigo's memories for the first time, not knowing him, could imply that he's someone that should be feared. This would also make her panic a lot more understandable and would explain why she's aggressive. Daigo, seeing that aggression, would immediately signify to him that she's a threat. Near the end, when both of these characters are down, Sunset's first instinct would be to tell Daigo that she's a protector too. Sunset would usually reason with someone first before engaging in a fight if necessary. However, in this death battle, before being rifted, she was already dealing with a magic problem, so being moved from one place to another suddenly is bad enough, but accidentally crashing into somebody and seeing horrific things that will genuinely terrify you raises the stakes even more. Once these characters have had the proper chance to communicate with each other, they realize that they're not threats, just two people trying to protect the world they love. That's gonna wrap the video up. If you guys did enjoy, consider liking and subscribing, and let me know if you agreed with this death battle scenario. And if you didn't, then please comment on how you think the death battle would have gone. Let me know if you guys want me to make more videos like this. This is something that I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm glad that it finally hit the big screens. Anyways, without further ado, bye-bye!